Hey everyone, it's Batsy. Welcome to the VLaD Tournament Review Series. So far, Viva La Defeata has hosted 25 different tournaments, so we're just going to do a little series. It's either going to be 4 or 5 parts. I haven't actually decided yet, and we're going to talk about things that have happened at the tournaments so far. So, just a little rundown at our 25 different tournaments. We've had 131 different players registered. We've played 7 games. That's going to include all 5 versions of Smash, as well as Mario Kart Wii, and we've played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Our most recurring series is The Decline and Fall of Outside Drift, or we call it TD Food for short. That has had 6 iterations. But overall, our longest running series is Res Weekend Redemption, which started in 2018, same year as TD Food, but a couple months before it. And so far, there's only been 2 of those, plus one that was held online that we don't really officially include in the list of tournaments we've had, but we're hoping to bring that back this year. So this video is part 1 of the series. We're going to be ranking all VLaD tournaments by hype. Like I said, the series is going to be 4 or 5 videos long. This is going to be a 2-parter because of the amount of tournaments we've had, 25. That'd be a really long video, so we're going to rank number 25 to number 11 today, and then we'll do 10 to 1 in another video. We did actually get some input from players who have been into a lot of these tournaments. They voted for their favorites. No one sent a whole numbered list of number 1 to 25. They just voted for their couple favorites. So you'll see people's opinions in the next video, because those will be, in the top 10 tournaments of what they think the most hype ones were. But I have some, rationale here for the rest of them. I sorted myself, and I will say these tournaments, hosting them is one of my favorite things to do by far. I've enjoyed every one of them, but still, they can't all be winners. So if you want to hear kind of the VLaD history and me go over every single tournament, then just keep watching, and we'll go through number 25 to number 11 today. But if you really want to just get started at where the tournaments were actually pretty hype and they're not just on the list since they happened, then I would skip to, let me look, I would skip to probably about number 16 on the list. I'd skip to number 15 or 16. I'm planning to put chapters, so you should be able to do that. But for now, let's get into our 25th or least most hype VLaD tournament. All right, number 25 to get us started off. Like I said, if you want to skip to the ones that were actually hype, I'd go to somewhere around number 16. But number 25 is going to be Res Weekend Redemption 2019. And one thing that was kind of hype about this tournament was it was the return of the original VLaD tournament, the first ever VLaD tournament being Res Weekend Redemption 2018. But this one, just nothing that hype happened there. And then also we had some people with some bad attitudes. We had a rage quit, which is not very common for our tournaments. And so that kind of made it less of a hype event. Number 24 is going to be CU Wouldn't Want to SSBU 2. I know it's a really funny name. It's our Melee tournament, and I don't even have any rationale here written down on my list for this tournament being hype. So this tournament, it happened. No one had a bad attitude. That's why it's above Res Weekend Redemption 2019. But we really didn't have that many Melee players at this tournament. We tried to advertise it and get some Melee players, but it really ended up just being a bunch of Ultimate players who couldn't play Melee that signed up for this tournament, myself included. Number 23 is going to be Waiting for a Hero. This was an Ultimate Singles tournament that we had just a couple weeks before Hero came out as DLC in Smash Ultimate. And so there wasn't really anything that crazy that happened here, but I do have written down, I believe this is where the saying footstools can happen to anybody came from. During this tournament, Syndrome said that at one point, and that has become kind of a repeated phrase in Viva La Defeata commentary. All right, Bragging Rights 1 is going to be our 22nd most hype tournament, and I would say the most hype part about this tournament was a very strong performance from Dunker. All right, number 21 is going to be hashtag squad goals. and that is the only Squad Strike tournament that we've had so far. I'd say the format was probably the most hype thing about the tournament. And this tournament took place in 2019. We are excited because in January we're going to bring back Squad Strike for hashtag Squad Goals 2. So you guys should be able to see some of that if you tune in January 20th to the stream. We'll be showing that, and we'll be showing our Ultimate Singles tournament at the same time. Number 20 is going to be actually the first VLaD tournament that ever happened. It was very impromptu, and this is going to be Res Weekend Redemption 2018. This tournament basically took place. We had a bunch of family hanging out for Easter. We had Super Smash Bros. 64 downloaded on the Wii, so we were playing Smash 64 with Wii Classic controllers, and we decided to have a bracket, and that was the first tournament. It really wasn't anything crazy, so that's why it's a little lower on the list, but it is still very iconic. Number 19 is VLaD Homecoming. So myself, Princess Di, and Abu are all from Phoenix, and as you saw on the title screen, this tournament took place in Phoenix. And so we went out there. We have some cousins who still live out there, and we played them and some of their friends who play Mario Kart. In Mario Kart Wii, had a little bracket while we were out there, and it was pretty fun. And it is, to date, the only VLaD tournament that has taken place in Phoenix. Number 18 will be Heatwave 2018. So we called it that because we thought there would be another edition of it. We thought we would do it the next summer as well, but we never did. So Heatwave 2018 just kind of took place in the summer of 2018. I don't even remember the exact date, but a handful of us were hanging out. We decided to have a bracket. So this tournament was all Smash 4 on the Wii U. We played the entire thing on that, and it is the only VLaD tournament that has been played entirely on Smash 4. The most hype part about this tournament would be a victory from Lombardi Trophy that was very unexpected, and you will hear more about that in a future video if you stay tuned. 17, CU Wouldn't Want to SSBU, the original one, unlike its second version, which was number 24. So this was only a little more hype because we did actually have two people who could play Melee. One of them was significantly better than the other one, and so overall it wasn't really that crazy of a tournament, but still it earned its spot a little higher up because we actually had Melee players at our Melee tournament. But we'll see January 20th will be CU Wouldn't Want to SSBU 3, so we'll see if we get any more hype of a Melee tournament out of that. Number 16. So this is, like I said, the first tournament I would say was actually hype on this list so far. So this was our first Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament, and in this tournament, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was definitely more of a side event than kind of like a main part of the tournament. Didn't have as many people signing up for it. We had it on the same day as the Wii tournament, which was pretty cool because it was the first time we had two tournaments on the same day. And then this tournament was also the only 8 Deluxe tournament that wasn't LAN. This 8 Deluxe tournament was run the same way as our Wii tournaments, where it's a 4v4 tournament with everyone playing on the same system. But it was still pretty cool to have the new game, and it's continued. We're now on Funky Kong is Overrated 4, happened last summer, and we're planning for number 5 this upcoming summer. So it's pretty exciting to see what this tournament started. So these next 5 tournaments, I actually have pictures to show you as we talk about them. So this is from our 15th most hype tournament, which we called an all expenses paid trip for 4, and then in parentheses 4, again, like the sweepstakes entries. It's pretty funny, I know, to grand finals. And this was a 4v4 tournament. So the way this worked was just like doubles, but with teams of 4 instead of teams of 2. 8 people playing on one system, and we actually split the feed so that everyone wasn't crowded around one TV. If you see Syndrome right here, he's the breaking point. So Syndrome here over to me, that is my team, and we all had our own TV over here. And then from this side over to here, these 4 were all one team, and this is their TV. So it was pretty fun, a unique format, something I would like to do again in the future, but it was pretty time-consuming, took up a lot of resources, and kind of slow to get through, because this tournament, we did actually have 3 tournaments in the same day. So it was fun, but definitely a slow-moving and long day. Our 14th most hyped tournament is going to be Funky Kong is Overrated 3. I have a picture of here. It was a LAN tournament. As you can see, everyone's seated at their LAN stations. Something we started doing at Funky Kong is Overrated 2. This tournament took place in South Carolina. You can see we moved into the new venue. So it was cool because we had a mix of new and old competition. Some of our old players were still able to come down, but we also had some new players who were pretty good. This tournament wasn't any sort of this picture wasn't any sort of a big set. This was just, I believe, like a winners semis, maybe even winners quarters. But then this tournament was also cool because it was our first streamed 8 Deluxe tournament, and it was also the first one where we had DLC. The first wave of DLC tracks came out right before this tournament happened. Number 13 is going to be TD Food 2, and as you can see, I have one picture from it, but it's pretty glary, so we'll switch over in a minute. But this was actually I'm Dan Fox's first tournament, and you can see there's him, Princess Di, and Abu playing in a winner's semis set. So one of the cool things about this tournament was that it was the first large-scale recurring tournament. Like I said, we had Res Weekend Redemption 2018 and then 2019. Those each happened right before TD Food 1 and then TD Food 2. So it was cool, though, to see that these tournaments that we were throwing, inviting a lot of people to, that it was something that we were going to keep doing. Because after the first Mario Kart tournament, the first TD Food, we didn't actually know if it was going to happen year after year. And now here we are, we missed 1 year, but we're coming up on TD Food 6 this summer. Number 12 is going to be Funky Kong is Overrated 2. So this was the return of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in our tournament series. And as you can see, this was the first year that we had LAN. All the switches here are all hooked together. There's 8 people playing each other in the same match. And because of that, the way the tournament works, we'll also have 8 people playing in grand finals. So that's pretty cool. A lot of people, you have a shot at winning the tournament all the way till the very end. And this was a very close grand finals, which was something pretty hype about it. We even had a tie for 4th place. And we've been doing the LAN format ever since. And this tournament actually took place on the same day as our next tournament on the list. Number 11 is going to be The Decline and Fall of Outside Drift, or TD Food 3. And some of the reasons that this tournament was so hype is because it was our first kind of get-together that we had after COVID. All the lockdowns and everything had just ended, so this was pretty exciting to get to see everyone again, and then also everyone was there at the time. Obviously we have new faces now, but I'm Dan Fox, missed the first TD Food, King D missed the second, so a lot of our top players were all able to come out, all able to participate. So this picture right here is actually from our grand finals. One more kind of fun fact about this tournament is this happened right after I got a girlfriend, and so I was so broke that one of our prizes was actually a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch right here. It's kind of part of Viva La Defeata lore at this point. It's kind of funny. We still joke about it. But yeah, we got it was at least a twin pack. It was like, you can see it says family size right there. I don't know if you guys can read that, probably. But it was the box like from Sam's Club where it's the fat box. You open it up and there's 2 bags inside. So it was at least family size, but nonetheless, if you came out and played in The Decline and Fall of Outside Drift 3, you had a chance to win some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully you can join us as we finish off our list next video with numbers 10 to 1, the most hype VLaD tournaments of all time.